Hi, how are you everyone? Welcome back to the show, episode 2. Can you believe it? I'm so very excited because I have such an amazing show prepared for us today, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things. On the Dom Jones Show, we're going to talk about things that relate to you, life, pop culture, and even some serious topics as well. So how are you? Today is what? You bet, it's Veterans Day. And today we get to honor our amazing veterans who have served our country ever so amazingly in a way that has really protected us in America as well as far beyond overseas. You know, I look at today as a day to honor all veterans, whether they are in the Marine, the Army, or the, any other Air Force, any other element of our wonderful, wonderful home that we call our defenses of America. And today we get to honor those, not just in America, but we get to honor those all over the world. All who have fought and battled for their nation. And even if we're in Vietnam, we can understand as well. You know, I'm so happy, I want to share my joy and my happiness with you. Cảm ơn các anh chị for being here with me and for listening to this wonderful message we want to share. So, something I don't talk often about, but my grandfather was a veteran. He fought in the Korean War. And it was very important to him, what he had gone through and what he had battled through. A lot of veterans today sometimes feel that the only time we might pay attention to them is during Veterans Day. But I think it's important to make sure that when you see someone out there, whether they are in their garb for the military or not, but if you know they have served our country, that you show appreciation. So I want to say, come on, thank you so much to our brothers and sisters who have fought. Today is a wonderful holiday to celebrate, and I hope so many of you out there are having an amazing time. Another holiday, because we're on the holiday season. So another holiday we want to talk about is Thanksgiving. So when we think about Thanksgiving, what do we think about? I know for me, Thanksgiving is about good food, I love to go eat, and I love food. And really, Thanksgiving is an American holiday that many people enjoy to get together and have time with family and friends. And so I ask you, what are some of your favorite holiday foods? Now, in the người Vietnam, in the Vietnamese community, there's so many amazing foods, right? Bún chả, bánh bò, and all these amazing dishes, and pho, which is very popular trong Little Saigon, right here in America. And so those are amazing Vietnamese dishes, and other dishes as well in the culture that I'm from. What's wonderful is we're able to really enjoy amazing dishes that relate to like turkey. I'm talking about dressing, about that dressing, as well as I'm thinking about a good cranberry sauce. So Thanksgiving, we think about food, eating, loving, but we also think about the origination of that, and we also want to honor the indigenous peoples of the United States of America. So I want to honor those natives who were here first and foremost in this nation, because they too get to recognize that they are someone that they get to be honored and valued and loved and appreciated. So we honor our indigenous people. I honor almost every land that we're on is of the indigenous people, really, in America. So we honor them and we say yes for Thanksgiving and for some good food. And listen, I can cook. I can get down in the kitchen, and so I'll be cooking, and I look forward to seeing what kinds of fun foods and things that you like to cook. So definitely share that with me on social media. And something else we want to turn our attention to is another amazing holiday that is a Vietnamese holiday. So this is called ngày, kiểu, Vietnam. So this is Vietnamese Teachers Day. So này là new quan trọng cho all the teachers trong Vietnam và right here in America. It honors the contributions of teachers throughout all of the world, and I love that this is a really wonderful day that is celebrated trong Vietnam. So, cảm ơn các anh chị of all the teachers. Chúc mừng ngày nhà giáo Việt Nam. It's very important. November 20th is the day. So please make sure that you honor those who are of the Vietnamese community as well, who are teachers and who are really striving to make our world a better place through our children. And I think that's really awesome. So, you know, as we continue this conversation, we're going to get more into some deeper topics. So we're going to take a break. And when we return, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening right now. It's a little bit of a sensitive topic, but we're going to take our crack at it. Israel and Palestine. The conflict. Does it necessarily have to be a right and a wrong? Is there a middle ground and a pathway forward? When we return, we'll discuss more. See you soon. Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're going to turn our attention to a very interesting topic. It's the topic of Israel and Palestine. Now, I'm fully aware that this is a very sensitive topic. Many people find it so controversial. Some people don't even want to talk about it. But I'm going to talk with you about it, and I'm going to share with you exactly how maybe this conversation need not be as difficult. Maybe this conflict, this real conflict that we are seeing, has a better pathway forward. As humans, we are all connected. Là con người, tất cả chúng ta đều được kết nối với nhau và chiến tranh ở các quốc gia khác nhau hướng đến tất cả chúng ta. As humans, we are all connected, and wars in other countries affects us all. You might be wondering who's right and who's wrong. You know, we often tend to look at things with such a binary viewpoint, and it's so easy to take sides between what's right and what's wrong. But whatever your opinion is, I encourage you to consider the possibility that non-violence is the best solution for this answer. Now, I'm not trying to be someone who's not pragmatic. I understand that there are real issues at play on the ground. But I also recognize that we are human first, and this is most important. In line with this viewpoint, there are those fighting for peace with Israel and Palestine. Right here, I have an organization I would like to introduce to you called Combatants for Peace. Their mission is to provide peace without violence, and they are the only organization of their kind. It's certainly easier said than done, but the Combatants for Peace are on the ground, and they come from the Palestinian side as well as the Israeli side. So let's take a look at this video about what they're doing, learn more, and we're going to continue this discussion.
I'm Hanalon. As an officer in the Israeli Defense Forces, it was my duty to defend my country. I participated in the military occupation of Palestinian people. I saw that what I was doing in the army was only giving rise to more violence and hate.
My name is Sulaiman Khatib. As a Palestinian fighter, I was part of the armed resistance against the Israeli occupation. I came to understand that my actions only brought more violence. I knew I could no longer take part in it.
We put our fear and mistrust aside and came together to form Combatants for Peace.
We are a binational Israeli-Palestinian movement dedicated to non-violence.
We are the only movement in the world in which combatants in an ongoing conflict have laid down their weapons and are working together for peace. Our goal is to promote an end to the occupation and the creation of a Palestinian state.
To have two peoples living side by side in peace and dignity.
Together, our Israeli and Palestinian members use art, theater, and other creative activities to demonstrate to people on both sides that we can rise above fear and hatred.
That former enemies can become partners in peace, and that together we can create a better future for both peoples.
The media only shows us images of violence and hate, driving us further apart. We engage in activities that embody a different reality. These are the images that bring people together. Your support will help us fund a media campaign and allow us to expand our unique brand of creative activism.
With your support, we can reach a much wider audience. Help us make a statement that our leaders can't ignore.
אנחנו רוצים שהילדים שלנו ושלכם יחיו בשקט וביחד תוך לב לא של נקמה ולא של כעס אלא לב של לסלוח ולאהוב. אין פתרון צבאי לסכסוך שלנו. אם אנחנו לוחמים לשלום יכולים להיות ביחד ולהיאבק ביחד בצורה לא אלימה כן שאר האנשים יכולים. במאהבה אנחנו באנו לפה. תודה לכם.
Please show your support by joining Combatants for Peace and supporting this campaign in any way you can.
Please donate and share this message with everyone you know.
Your voice is critical, now more than ever.
Isn't that amazing? And wasn't that an amazing group? You know, I've never seen an organization quite like the Combatants for Peace. And notice, you know, some of the things that they do and that they believe in. And I know you saw it in that video, but I really want to do them justice. They say by laying down weapons and embracing diplomatic solutions, both sides begin to address the root causes of their disagreements. They have dialogue, understanding, and they compromise. And that helps pave the way for sustainable peace. Isn't the Combatants for Peace an organization that we can look at and say, can't our countries all over the world, whether we're in America or the United States, model after? Because what they recognize and what I hope to share with you through my show and different segments that we do, you'll start to see that I'm a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about news and important issues. We're going to talk about fun things and pop culture. And we're also going to talk about real life. Because what I want the Dom Jones Show to be to you is a place where you can come and get any and everything that you need. Whether you need to be fortified in your heart or learn something to help you be a better citizen of the world. So the Combatants for Peace are showing us that peace is possible, but it does require that we don't lead ourselves forward by being so divided, that we don't push ourselves to that way, that we try to find common ground. And as you all know, I am running for state assembly in California and Orange County along the coastline. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about peace and harmony and unity and coming together. So I applaud the Combatants for Peace for trying to make sure we have a more peaceful world. And the struggles that those in the Middle East are facing, many in Vietnam can resonate with. You know, the Vietnam War affected many people who came here to America due to the Vietnam War. And really, as a result, so many people's lives were broken. And at the end of the day, we get to recognize and we get to see that whether war is here, whether war is in another country, right? Whether war is anywhere, it affects every single human being. So the Combatants for Peace, I just want to say the Dom Jones Show and the PhoBolsa Network, thank you so much for just seeking peace and for being a unifying organization that honestly we all can really get behind. And so I encourage you in your homes, can you find ways that you can share with your children how you can be more peaceable? Maybe at school, you can teach the children how to be more coming together, not being so different. I think that's a way forward. And in all these ways, trust me and believe me, in our communities and in our families, we are working to make our world a better place one step at a time. So I want to also bring something to your attention. It's a very interesting quote that I personally find very reassuring. So there was a Buddhist monk, Thich Nhat Hanh. He was really widely respected. And he said something about peace that I really feel an organization like the Combatants for Peace and many in our world today would agree with. Notice what he said, and I'm going to read it to you trong tiếng Việt và An afterwards. It says, Hòa bình không chỉ là không có xung đột mà không là sự hiến dâng của sự hiểu biết, lòng trắc can và niềm vui. Xin lỗi. Peace is not just the absence of conflict, but the presence of understanding, compassion, and joy. Thich Nhat Hanh's wisdom, it really shows us the holistic nature of peace. And what I love is that he's emphasizing that we need not try to be hostile. We need not be hostile to one another. It calls for a deeper understanding, a compassionate approach. Thich Nhat Hanh was in front of his time. And you know, chúng ta phải có hạnh phúc và yêu và bình an. The Dom Jones Show, if you listen, là nghe, it means, you know, living, laughing, loving. Sống cười yêu. And so anything in life that we go through, anything in life that we experience, listen, lắng nghe to the words of Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh nói the truth, and we need to listen to finding bình an more in this world today. So cảm ơn Thich Nhat Hanh. This is wisdom for all of us. And so when we return, we're going to move into something a little bit more interesting. You're going to get to know the love and light side of me. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and for watching. I hope you're sharing with your friends. Please do hit subscribe, that button. It takes just a little bit tap right there. And when we return, we're going to talk a little bit about love and light. I'll see you soon. Hey guys, and we're back. So, you know, I don't know about you, but when we go to break, I miss you. I miss you during the break. So now that we're back, chào mừng and welcome to our Tin Yêu và Ánh Sáng, our Love and Light segment. And I love talking about this segment. Oh my gosh, Ánh Sáng, light and love, Tin Yêu, it's so important. And I want to share with you guys one of my own Instagram videos. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I am one of those Instagram people, and I love Instagramming life. I choose to share my life with you, be authentically me, and something that many of my followers are juicy boos. So if you are a follower of me on IG, you are certainly a juicy boo. So now we're gonna go ahead and play an awesome video about radiating love and light. Okay, so you see, clearly I love dancing and singing to music in the car. That's what I do. But that's my way of showing my tình yêu và ánh sáng. That's my way of really sharing with the world who I am. So, you know, a lot of times in life, especially our young, I notice teenagers and people of a younger generation, các em are very much afraid to be who they want to be. I want to tell you that you must you must live, and you must live your life. And there's a video that I have on my Instagram of me dancing in a grocery store, and it was a Vietnamese grocery store. So right here, what you're going to get to see now coming up is a video, another video of me in a grocery store trong Little Saigon of người Việt Nam dancing and singing. So here it is.
Happy Friday, like the last. Wanna send love and light to you. May you be well, may you radiate love. Hey. May you find what brings you joy. May you lift up out of any anxiety or hard time in this moment. Find something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for you in life. Hey.
So that wasn't the grocery store, but what it was you watching me again singing in the car. And if you are on my IG, totally go there. You're gonna see an amazing, fun video of me dancing and singing in the grocery store. And I love Vietnamese food. Tôi ưa food of Vietnam, so you'll see all the fun Vietnamese foods around. The fish sauce nước mắm is my favorite to put on my food and on everything. And you'll get a chance to see that on my IG. So I really want to express to you and explain to you what it means to have love and light. Every human being has the capacity for love. When you're born, you need the love of your parent. Without the love of your parent, we are the only creature that simply cannot survive. We need to be comforted, we need to be caressed, we need to be held. And that reinforces very positive feelings and emotions as we grow. And this is what guides us into the understanding of positivity. Because what consumes your mind controls your life. It's so important to recognize that the way our mind grows, the way we see the world, we're affected by how we're raised. And how much love we're given determines that. It's important that you give love to your children. That if you are a husband, you give love to your wife. That if you're a wife, you do the same for your husband. That friends give love to one another. But most importantly, that you give love to yourself. So you have the capacity to love yourself. It often causes us to doubt ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we think, am I really as great as I believe I can be? Can I achieve my goals? Or am I really what I was told by someone else who was hurting and didn't solve their traumas? I'm here to tell you, if you water yourself and if you plant the positivity of life. Now, this is not toxic positivity. Notice this. This is not a positivity that doesn't take into account that life is hard and you have things to overcome. But it's something that says, although it's hard, I'm going to water myself with love. Although it's difficult, I'm going to water myself with all the things that I need to build myself into who I get to be. This is very important. And this is what we mean about having love in your heart. I want you to remember this. Think positive. Còn những người bạn tích cực, have positive friends. Cuộc sống thật đẹp. Life is so beautiful. Tình yêu và ánh sáng. Love and light. To exude that from yourself. Don't be afraid to show who you are. You know, I'm running for office, and many people told me that I should change my hair color. I should look differently. I should not be as colorful as I am. But I wouldn't be talking to you today if I wasn't exactly who I am. I hope those of you out there, if you're a part of any community, any marginalized community, you can look at this and share time with me and see and understand. Chúng ta phải hiểu that positivity, that is the most important thing. That your truth and the way you want to live your life is important. That loving yourself is first and foremost. And through my journey, because I didn't grow up, at all, with a lot. I grew up poor, homeless, and I went through a lot. And a người Việt Nam gia đình, a Vietnamese family took me in for a time in my life. And I'm so grateful, because if it weren't for families like them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I understand struggle and difficulty. And yet I'm here to tell you that even if you go through hard times, if you are trong Vietnam and life is not easy, understand, you can make it better. And in America, we certainly know that we can fight to make our lives better. It is the love, tình yêu và ánh sáng that lives inside of me that has allowed me to talk to you today. So I want you to ask yourself, what does loving myself look like? Is it becoming, going to finally live that dream of singing? Is it deciding to be and walk in life the way you want, in the colors that you want? But whatever it is, understand, your purpose in this life is to live your truth. And that's what the Dom Jones Show is about. Living, loving, and laughing. So, I'm going to leave you here for that section of Tin Yêu và An Sang. When we return, we're going to go into a little snap, crackle, in pop culture. So when we return, we're going to talk about something that many of us can relate to. Parenting, the các em, our children. So I'll see you soon.
Washington State, Burlington Edison, be real, be good, and sunny SoCal. That's all. My fellow women, my fellow people, and I encourage you all to always there's no thing at our disposal.
Snap, Crackle and pop culture. So let's talk a little bit about some pop culture. So listen, we talk about love and light. We talk about the war in, Israel and Palestine. We talk about the holidays. See, life is composed of all of these things. And we now talk about some pop culture. And I actually find pop culture interesting because we really look at other people's lives as a way to explore and to get to know other walks of life. So someone that we are all very familiar with, our dear Kim Kardashian and her family. I actually really love Kim. I think she is awesome and such an example of just killing it in the business game. And really, I think she is amazing that she's decided to raise a family in the spotlight. But if we notice here, the controversy that really is kind of catching on right now, which is her son Saint, he has put up the middle finger. And, we can definitely see that, that is something. You can see her putting her head on his face because she's like, no, that's not okay. But when I think of this story, in this instance, it reminds me of different ways of parenting. When we see this today, we're kind of like, oh my gosh, I know for me, growing up, I would not have never necessarily done that as a child, but in entertainment, I'm sure the limelight and what those kids go through creates a completely different world for them. But at the same time, we can talk about all the different cultural differences. That's what I thought this brought about parenting. I know for me, growing up, there was always a different way that parents discipline. So I don't really know what Kim's form of discipline is. But right here, you notice here as an example, I know growing up, a lot of times, a lot of parents, my grandmother, they always sit you down and they'll say, listen now, lange, right now. And really, it's kind of crazy because when you're growing up, sometimes they're fussing, sometimes they're screaming, and or not, everyone's family upbringing is different. But I find that across cultural lines, that a lot of us experience that feeling growing up of our parents like really honest. And then, I don't know about you, but something that I grew up with was always having to clean every room in the house. So if I did something wrong, if I was bad and my mom, it was like, if she said that to me very bad, then I would have to go and I would have to clean every room in the house. Or even, okay, I don't know, this might be dating myself, but do you know about writing standards? Now, it was seen as an educational thing. So I would write I will not. So growing up, I couldn't do that. When you smack your mouth? If I smacked my mouth, oh my goodness. So I will not smack my mouth. I will not smack my mouth. So that's something that some families can go through sometimes themselves. Something else, so those are standards, okay? Something else I thought of was if you had a sibling growing up, have you ever had to go deal with them and take them to the park or go do something with them? If you have a younger sibling. So a lot of older siblings, if you have a younger sibling and your mom or dad is like, okay, go, you know what, you have to go and let your brother go with you to the movies with your friends. And you're just like, no way. So sometimes that happens too. I remember growing up, I grew up and I went to school, and I remember seeing a lot of kids who went through that as well. So the controversy is that Kim Kardashian, getting back to her, that her parenting is wrong because her child Saint is putting up the middle finger. But, at the end of the day, and if I did that, I'm going to put that down. But at the end of the day, you know what? No one's perfect. Parenting is not easy. Now, I don't actually have kids, but I think it's a lot easier to judge somebody from the other side of anything. The other side of a keyboard, the other side of a TV screen. I think it's way easy to do that. So what I say is this. It might be controversial, and people have different opinions about it. But what you'll find here at the Dom Jones Show is that I really am concerned with us finding common ground and just not finding any reason to fight anymore. So as far as I'm concerned, Kim K, life happens. I love you, sis. With Saint, we'll just keep on teaching him some better communication skills. and we'll keep moving on. And hopefully, I would say this, as we develop better ways of parenting, let's implement them, because our children are the future. And I think we definitely need to instill good values. So that's it right now for our Snapple, Pop, Crackle, Dapple. And now I'm going to go ahead and take a moment, and I'm going to show you kind of the actual video of Kim K and Saint. So go ahead and take a look. Okay, so when you see that, and when you see Saint get out of the car and then put that up to mom, I mean, immediately it's intense, right? I know. But at the same time, like I said, you don't know what they were going through. You don't know what they were talking about. You don't know what Kim has to deal with. Again, she's doing the best that she can. So I just say, you know, parents, you know how hard it can be. And it's not easy raising children with all those paparazzi around. Maybe I'd be a little bit, you know, kind of feeling irked if I were Saint myself. Maybe he was agitated. So again, all parenting styles are different. We get to honor them all. So let's go ahead. Remember, though, how we grew up, because we all grew up very different. But of course, our parents always strive to love us the best they can. And that's why you got to appreciate your parents as much as you possibly can. So that's it for our wonderful episode here. When we return, we'll have our last few moments of conversation before we say see you later.
Washington State, Burlington, Edison, be real, be live in sunny SoCal. That's all. My fellow women, my fellow people, and I encourage you all to always thing at our disposal. Washington State, Burlington, Edison, be real, be live in sunny SoCal. That's all. My fellow women, my fellow people, and I encourage you all to always thing at our disposal. Washington State, Burlington, Edison, be real, be live in sunny SoCal. That's all. My fellow women, my fellow people, and I encourage you all to always thing at our disposal.
Hey guys, so I've really enjoyed getting a chance to talk to you. Today we covered a wide range of topics, from the holidays of the Thanksgiving and the Teachers Vietnam Day, ngày, Vietnam, to talking about parenting and even Kim Kardashian, and also about ourselves, about how we can love ourselves more. So I want to leave you with this. I like to leave you with something you can do for yourself. So make sure at some point you take the time to look at yourself in the mirror when you wake up in the morning and tell yourself something very important that you need to hear. It might be you are enough. It might be you can do this. It might be yes, I will. But whatever it is, I want you to know that right here on the PhoBolsaTV network, one of its kind, you have a home. You have a place to be seen, heard, and understood. And so next week we get back, and I look forward to talking to you then. We're going to have amazing Josh Fisher. Josh Fisher is a PhD at Chapman University of Environmental Science. And we're going to talk on Friday, November 17th at 5 p.m. all about how he is really changing our environment. The work that he's doing at Chapman University. It's going to be so exciting to have him here in the studio. Josh, we look forward to seeing you. And until then, please, xin các anh chị, remember, please, sống cười yêu, live, laugh, and love. See you soon.